So welcome to JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Rich's Boxing and Limitless Creations. And with me now, I've got Jordan Woods. How you doing, Jordan?
Hello, how's it going? It's nice to meet you, Joel. So it is, I feel privileged to come on just to speak a little bit myself and just my faith and just everything, as we had a wee conversation before that as well. So thank you for the invite.
Honestly, it's a privilege to have you on, mate. Yeah. Before we get into that though, I've got to do a cheesy intro. So we're gonna have a bit of this.
Okay.
Are you ready?
So as I say, welcome to JG's Fight Talk. I've got Jordan Woods with me, who's tried to get a quick drink in there before.
Yeah, I don't want the mouthful drying up, and I'm trying to keep my because sometimes I speak really fast, so I'm trying to just slow myself down. I don't want to I want you to be able to understand me, you know what I mean, as well. So yeah.
Honestly, mate, I can understand you. I've spoken to quite a few Irish now,
yeah.
And I'll tell you now, some of them could have done with subtitles, but you're not one of them.
That's it, mate. No, 100%. 100%.
And that was coming from the Irish guys that I spoke to. Said, yeah, he needs subtitles because we can't understand it.
That's good. Yeah, it's just I speak a bit fast at times. I don't know. It's just I don't know, but yeah. But thank you again for having me.
No, honestly, mate. EFB man, end up from Ireland. He's put hi Jordan.
Oh yeah.
He's put oi Joel for the Irish comment.
That's funny.
But Jordan, for people that don't know who you are, let's go back to the start, mate. Your boxing journey. When did boxing all start for you?
I've always had an interest in boxing, the sport, so I have, and that might have came from watching Rocky as everyone when they're younger.
Yeah.
But I just I don't really remember much really young. But I remember when I was really young, my nanny, she went and bought me a wee mini boxing bag and a wee set of gloves when I was a wee child. And I don't know, I was just hooked. I was fascinated. I always wanted to do it, but I never really had a local boxing gym in Antrim. At that time, I know there has been one and there is one, but at that time I didn't really know anyone to go to. So yeah, I ended up so as my lifestyle growing up, I ended up getting involved in the wrong crowds and all, and I ended up drinking drugs. So the boxing was just so far away in the distance. I could never do it because basically just the lifestyle that I was living. But I always liked growing up, watching the likes of Ricky Hatton, Manny Pacquiao, all the go forward fighters who come in and they leave it all in the ring. That's just sort of style that just got me attracted to boxing. And yeah, I kind of skipped forward just a wee bit. It was just the lifestyle I was living. I always wanted to do it and never done it. And then I became a Christian. I gave my heart to the Lord in 2015 there, sort of. And literally after that, so all the drinking drugs, I had to wean off them a wee bit. It took me a wee bit of time to come off them. And then at the end of, about 6 months, I was just trying to get away from that old lifestyle. It was hard at the time. But then I got away from it. And then, but I needed something else. I go to. Yes, I was going to church, you know what I mean? And all that there. But I needed something else. I needed a sport, I needed a hobby, I needed something to get into. And it was while I was literally, the funny story was, I actually came out of church and there was a boxing show across the street. This is a funny story. A boxing crew across the street. It's called the Royal British Legion, and in Antrim. And I seen a few of my mates, old drinking buddies and all, and they were all fighting at it. And I looked at them and I was like, why can't I fight? Why can't I do that? And ever since that day, it was put in me that I need to do that. And then it was another way of to get me away from that lifestyle as well. Yes, God saved me, but I believe I needed something else as well, just something to look towards, because I would have went to the gym and all the odd time and stuff, and I always got bored of it. You know what I mean? Because there's no end goal. But with the boxing, it's like I just had to be there every session. Most sessions I was always there because I needed to know that I was going to be competing. So that's what got me fascinated of it. It's just the end goal that I'm getting in the ring in front of people. So yeah, and then like I said, see the Christian life and the boxing life, they're kind of similar. You know what I mean? Because you need discipline. You also, if you get knocked down, you need to get up again. You know what I mean? Same as Christian life. I might man fall 7 times a day and rise 8. You know what I mean? So there's just so many similarities to the boxing. Like if you lose one round of boxing, you come win the next. If you lose one day in your Christian life, you can win the next. You know what I mean? And I just thought the two played hand in hand for me. And I just believe it was, like I said, it was a good way to keep me off the streets and to give me a focus. And like I said, the end goal as well, to get in the boxing ring. So, like I said, so I've always been fascinated with it. And then whenever I got clean, off the drink, off the drugs, that was me. And then once I got started, I couldn't stop. I was like fighting every week and all. I just loved it. If a fight came up, I was like, yeah, put my name down, I don't care. And I was competing against boys at 70, 80 amateur fights. And I had like a few white collars, you know what I mean? And I was holding my own in there, you know what I mean? So, and I just didn't give up, just kept pushing on towards it. I kind of skipped forward a wee bit there, but that's just kind of like what got me into it, so it was.
So when you were going through your difficult time with your addiction, did you just find, you know, when you looked at sort of sports and other things like that, you just feel that you weren't good enough, that you weren't able to do it?
Yeah, because like that was something I always looked at. See, whenever like this is going back, like I always had that competitive nature in me. I always wanted to do something, but I just didn't want to do it. I wanted to try and do it well and as well as I could. I wouldn't like doing something I wasn't good at it. But like I remember back, like even in it was like secondary school, and the teacher was picking the people to do the 100-meter race, right? And he was picking all these people, and I said to pick me, and he was saying that I wasn't quick enough, and I said I am quick enough, pick me. And he picked me, and then like whenever I ran, like I wasn't as fast as these old boys, so I wasn't. And then that played in my head that maybe that I wasn't good enough, because I remember always seeing like, you know, like the sports days and all, and they would have got all the big medals and all, or got the plaques and all. And I was just like, my name was never like really mentioned. Like I like running, maybe running away from the police. So I like running. Right? I like running. So I did. So that was like one thing that I could do, like long distance. But as it says, I just whenever they were all getting the medals and all whatever they got there, I never had that. And then the boxing, like all the medals and all the things I gathered up, titles and a couple of titles that I won and all, like I've got that all gathered up now, and you know what I mean? So like that's my thing. I think sport just wasn't really like, it was something that I was interested in, like playing football with my mates in the park or whatever, but I never really had the sense of a team or like a team or people that are on the same level to go. I mean, so whenever like I started the boxing, and it just gave me that sense of worth and sense that, you know what I mean, and all of us are in the same boat and all. But I just even remember like bad days born or something. I was like, oh my, I'm not getting in that ring. I ain't gonna run down there and get battered. You know what I mean? Like just bad days born. Just always trying to better myself. So it was in that sense. So it was. But yeah, just like there's this movie, a Christian movie, and it really inspires me. And it's called Born to Win. And I got it on Netflix. I don't know if you get there anymore, but it's Born to Win. And it was like, with Christ, you're born to win. And then, like, even me getting in the ring, even if I did lose or draw or whatever, I believe that I'm born to win, just to even get in the ring and show the guts to even get in the ring. That's why I always say to everyone, anyone that gets steps in them ropes is a winner. Because there's so many people that couldn't do it, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you're in there getting, like I said, getting slapped about, or anything can happen, you know what I mean? But I think I'm half to anyone that can step in the ring, sort of.
Yeah, I've only done one white collar fight.
Yeah.
You know, the feeling when you get in there, you know, the sense of fear, but the sense of like achievement.
Yeah.
You've got to this point, and you know, whatever the outcome is, you just give your all.
Definitely.
And if you don't, then it's going to be a long night.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But,
It's like, sorry, I'm up there, but I just said, like, the people say the fight bit is easy, but it is, in a sense, I know what you're trying to say, you know what I mean? Because you've worked really hard to get in the ring and get in the shape to get in the ring, and then you just need to go in there and you need to try and put what you've done in practice in the ring, you know what I mean? But it's easier said than done, as you probably know. Even just getting in that one time.
Yeah, I found out.
Oh, that was good.
But no, I take my hat off to you, like I said to you earlier, Jordan. You know, with what was that sort of turning point for your addiction? Then, what was that turning point? What was the thing that said, "I've got to change now. This ain't right anymore"?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I knew I needed to change. I knew it was like, because I was brought up in like Sunday school and stuff like that. So I always knew about God, and I always knew like about Jesus, God's Son, but I didn't really know the depth of it. That like I probably heard they died for my sin, but I didn't really know the depth of it. And 2012, kind of, I went to this wee church, and it's kind of going for the wrong reasons. Trying to impress a girl at the time, right? I was trying to impress her to go. I look at me, I'm going to church, you know what I mean? That's kind of what it was like, because she was a Christian at the time. And, but safe to say, that didn't work out. I felt like I felt something that night. Like, I felt like God was reaching his hand out to me that night, you know? And, like, that day. And I went there morning and night. And, you know the way they make appeals, like, they put your hand up if you want to get saved. I put my hand up morning and night. And I remember the pastor going, "This wee lad must be keen, that's morning and night." He put his hand up. But
he hasn't put his hand down for days.
Yeah, but it was just, I felt like I wanted to change, you know what I mean? At that time, 2012, I wanted to change, but I just didn't. I just, like, there's a scripture that I always go back to whenever I give my testimony and stuff, and it's whenever it says, the dog always returns to his own vomit, meaning always going back to maybe second in the first place. So, in my troubles, I was getting in trouble, and I would end up down in prison and stuff, down there, and down in the holding suite for something I did the night before, usually drink and drug related. And while I was down there, you're sitting looking up the Crime Stopper sign and all, like, call this number. But I'm sitting there, and I would have prayed, and I would have, "God, please, if you get me out of this one, I'll turn my life around, and I'll change it now." And God always got me out of it. Just like a slap on the wrist or whatever. It always got me out of it. And then see, as soon as I was out of it, that was me. I was way back to the thing that was making me sick in the first place. And I really hit the head whenever, just a night that I was arrested, and in 2015, and my brother, he took an overdose. So can you imagine my mum? One person, well, like one of her sons is getting holded for something, and the other one is in hospital, nearly dying with an overdose. You know what I mean? So her head was away, as you can imagine. And I just remember coming home, and I walked into my mum, and I just, like, I've been in trouble before, but this time was just different. You know what I mean? And she was completely broke down in front of me, and I was like, I need to change my ways. I can't keep living like this. This is not right. I can't know it. And it was my brother. He goes with who he has a kid to. Her sister and mum, they were both Christians, and they were trying to help my brother out and saying, "Yo, why didn't you come up to church with us?" This was 2 days after this happened. Like, when you come up to church with us, and I remember still back from 2012. Whenever when I made that profession, I remember back to that, and he was like, "Why didn't you come with me?" So he invited me to go with him. And while I was there that night, I couldn't bite my nails. I was complete mess. You should have seen me. I couldn't even talk to anyone. I was bad crack, like, you know what I mean? Because the drugs wore off, and I'm like, ready to go kind of thing. And the pastor, can't really remember what he was preaching on, but I just felt this tug of war going on inside me. Like, now's your time. You need to get saved. You need to get saved now. You know what I mean? You can't leave this building tonight without getting saved. That was how bad it felt to me. And he kept doing the appeal, and I kept rejecting. And I was like, right, I had to get saved. So I got saved that night, and I was literally leaping out of that church for joy. So it was that God had saved me. And yeah, so as I said, then it took me time to wean off the drugs, the drink and stuff, and then that's where the boxing came into play to help me in that journey. But yeah, it was rock bottom. That's what got me to the Lord, was rock bottom. And the only good thing I can say about rock bottom is you can only start building. You know what I mean? And that's what happened. I start building bricks in my life, start building it again, and with God's help, I was straight out. I like see every door in my estate where I lived at the time. I knocked every single door and tried to get them to church. It was crazy. And even my next door neighbour, like they would have heard me pointing and all next door. And then I am knocking the door, inviting them up to church. They actually came. That's right. They actually came to the barbecue and all. We had a wee barbecue and all at the church. It was like a year anniversary of it being open. So yeah, they actually came up to the church and all. But it was like everyone just seen the change in my life. I couldn't deny it. I was like, there's people that are Christians and they don't want to go out and like witness or talk about God or whatever. But to me, I just couldn't help it because I knew how low I was and how beat I was in the moment. So I needed to go and tell people. And it's like every opportunity, I'm trying to speak about God or trying to help ones and stuff like that.
Well, to be fair, you know, you wouldn't be here, mate. You wouldn't be here if it weren't for him.
No,
and you know what you've gone on to do since your second life, should we say, your new start. You know, you've gone on to do your training. You know, qualified. You know, you've got your own career going well. You know, tell us a bit about that.
But what, sorry?
Your career. Tell us a bit about your career.
Yeah. So, like, as you can imagine, back I wasn't really into school. Okay, I left school with no education. I was just not into school. So I went back to Belfast Metropolitan College, so I did, and I done the boxing academy there, and it was class. I got to actually compete and all down at the National Stadium down in Dublin and all, won a title and all down there. So yeah, it was just unreal. But that was me, because that's what I wanted. I always said that I wanted to get my own gym someday, get people in, and then make it about God as well, trying to get people like that as well. Like if God's not for them at that moment, you could give them the boxing, and then in that you can like get your witness in or stuff like that. So I just had that in my head that that's what I want to do. So I went back and got my education, got my level 2 gym instructing and level 3 personal training. So I went back there for 2 years over lockdown too. it was very crazy. The first year was unreal. We got the fight down in Dublin in the March last year, and then see like a week or two later, everything was locked down. Like we just about got down. So and then obviously the second year we didn't get to compete then. But yeah, so I wanted to go back and get my education because I would have still done like personal training with people like boxing and all, but I wouldn't have charged them because I didn't feel like to charge them unless I was qualified. So as soon as I got qualified, I was working in a wee fruit shop all the time, and then I was just like, I'm gonna start my own business because I've seen people in Antrim as well. There was like young people around the same age, people older than me. They were doing well at the personal training and the boxing and training and stuff. So I was like if he can do it, why can I do it? So that was always in me. So I was trying to get a gym then to do it out of, because like Antrim's good, but I believe like there was more like opportunity in Belfast. But I tried a couple of gyms in Antrim at the start. It didn't really work out. So like I asked them, like I came with a proper decision, but it didn't work out. So it just came to me that I should do the gym that we were doing for the Belfast Met, because I was there anyway and I knew the guy. And like I would have worked for him, doing my jobs for him before, so I knew him. Yeah. So I went to him, just where like I didn't just go to him, but and just say, you know, this is what I want to do. Like I got help with it as well, but I got it all wrote down, the business plan, how I plan to get people in, blah blah blah, how I'm going to charge people, just like a whole thing, and my experience, because I had experience with doing kids boxing classes in Antrim as well, so I just had all his experience and all of it all down, and he was like, no problem. You can start working here, that's it. And like the rent, like you couldn't get the rent the way he was charging me anywhere else. I was like, this is unreal. And So yeah, I was getting the business in there, and like JW personal training, I got the wee logo and stuff made and all. It's good, like, and so while I was in that gym, I was training people. We do like this youth program was actually out today at Todd's Leap. It's like a residential place where we had some young ones, some people with like learning difficulties and stuff like that, and we were just helping them doing that because it was like a 4-week program. So we've done that, and like that would have been like bringing them in for free training, getting them lunch and all, getting a wee witness, getting a wee talk to them, or we chat to them and all. So it's really good. And while I was training a wee young guy, he's one of the youngest ones I'm training. You call him Wee Tommy, and he's got like slight autism, but he absolutely loves boxing with me. And once he came to me the first time, his mum, she loved it, and she worked in a wee gym called Fit Mums. Up in Glengoyne. So whenever she put the review up about me, it was the boss. She messaged me, says, I've seen the review, it's really good. Can you come and help and do a few classes up at our gym as well? So yeah, I'm working in there as well. And now I've got the gym now that I'm working in that one as well. It's a big, like, it's proper gym, proper ring, proper, like, everything you need is in it. You know what I mean? Up at Stoneworks. So I'm literally working in the free gyms at the minute. But it's been flat out, been really busy, and I'm actually loving it. And even up in Fit Mums, we're literally just after finishing. It's a 4-week program as well. It's called Summer Storm, and it was like getting young ones off the streets and into sport, into boxing and stuff like that. And we done like a wee workshop with them yesterday and all. It was like of addiction NI and like the serious implications that alcohol and drugs can do to the body and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been good. Like as I say, like my business has only started because I started boxing as a hobby, not knowing that I was going to make a career out of it by teaching people. You know what I mean? And it's just unreal. You know what I mean? And there's like a couple of wee people upcoming say they want to go and be world champion or something, but I just drill it into them that they can do it. They can do whatever they want. You know what I mean? Like, especially if they're coming to be 6, 7 years of age. You know what I mean? They can do what they want. The world's an oyster. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to encourage other people and stuff like that. And I'm still doing the boxing as well myself, because I was going to stop it, but then now I've got a good team around me. So we're doing a good boxing team, and I feel like I was more like going forward, swinging, scrapper, you know what I mean? That's the way I'm training. So now, with the right coaching staff and all now, I'm more boxing. So I think it'll just be, you know what I mean? I'd just like to see where I go.
Yeah. Well, Jordan, I have to say, I think what you've achieved, and the journey you've been on has been incredible.
Yep.
And what you've done for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've lost your picture, mate.
Am I still here?
Your video isn't.
Sorry. Don't know what happened there, mate. It's because someone tried to ring me there.
That's all right.
What?
Are you coming? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, there you are.
Sorry, someone tried to ring me.
That's all right, mate.
Yeah.
As I say, the journey.
Sorry, 2 seconds. Sorry, I'm gonna just go and put this here on, so no one can ring me. 2 seconds. That's you now. That's you now. Sorry about
that. The journey you've been on, and literally coming from the bottom and making your way up. I think God has used your ability and your kindness to really bless other people, and I think that's incredible what you've been doing, mate. And keep up the good work.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, as I said,
I think you're a top lad, and what you're doing. There's not a lot of people that can do that, or have got the time to do that. And you've really put yourself out there. And I really, think a lot of you for that. Ender's fair play, Jordan. He's very good, very interesting. There's, you sharing your journey with others can really help others and guide them on the way. So keep up what you're doing, mate. And before you go, I'm going to get you into some boxing quickly. Manny Pacquiao the other day.
Yeah.
One of the fighters you were talking about as one of your favourites.
Yeah.
Do you think it's time to hang the gloves up?
Yeah. See, I love Manny Pacquiao. I love him. You know what I mean? I love just what he stands for, and he went through struggles as well, as everyone knows. But I was watching that fight. Like, the fight before that. Like, I remember getting up to watch that, and it was really good. He looked like he was rolling the clock back, but his punches just didn't seem like he was still moving, but he just wasn't. It was just something. The spark wasn't there anymore. Like, so I think it's maybe time for him to hang up the gloves. But like, look at all the fights he's had. Like, he's gone in the ring with nothing. It's unreal. It's unreal the career that Manny has, and he's only 8-time world champion. And we know 8 in different different classes and all. So it's unreal. So it is what he's done for the sport, and I think it probably would be time, because you just think if that's what you guys who he fought, if he. You can imagine if he was in against Spence, it wouldn't have been good. So I think it maybe is time to retire, but he can go with his head held high, 100%. So he can.
And I'm going to grab you for a prediction before you go, Jordan.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk coming up.
Yeah.
Massive fight. Unfortunately, Spurs Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an Arsenal fan, so it's never going to go down well. Yeah. How do you see that one going down? Tough fight.
It's a tough fight, it is, but I would have to go Joshua in that fight. And another reason why I would like that, because I definitely want the Joshua and Fury fight to happen at some stage, and I want them to be champions. You know what I mean? Like,
we all do, mate.
Fight,
we all do.
Yeah, but I think it will be a tough fight. But I can see Joshua stopping them in the later rounds. That's just my prediction. That's what I would have to say. But you never know. You never know. People came up from cruiserweight before, like David Haye and stuff, and shocked people. So you just don't know. But he's a talented boxer, so have to wait and see if he can come up and fight the likes of AJ and the rest of them. So that's all good.
Well, Jordan, it's been an absolute privilege having you on.
Thank you. Thanks for that.
As I say, I think you're a top guy, and everything you've been through, and you're a new guy. There's no doubt about it. You can see it absolutely booming out of you, and I wish you all the best for the future, mate. And how can people get hold of you if they want to have a chat with you?
Just my page, Jordan Woods, or I've actually got my business page as well. But if you just want, Jordan Woods is on the normal page there, and then JW Personal Training is my business page as well. So it is. And just one more wee thing before I go was the way you said it, the change in my life and stuff. One day that always stands out to me, and was whenever because I got recognised in the local town of Antrim and all, and the newspapers and all, and then I got invited to take a exam and all, my old primary school, the school that I wasn't even in. I went in all with my belt, was able to tell the kids about Jesus and the whole life story. It was unreal. It was the same principal and some of the same teachers that had me then were listening to me speak. They were listening in tears, who they were, and it was just unreal. It was just one of them moments where how far God's actually brought me. That He brought me back to exactly where it all began. So He did, but it was just unreal, And at that stage of my life, it was mad. And then I got invited out to Castle Cool as well, and that's where I met Prince Charles, the future King of England. I actually met him at Castle Cool. Got invited. Me, my mate, my mum, my granny, all got invited, and felt a wee bit out of place because it was all people. They looked all snobby and all, and they were all these different achievements. What are you here for? I just want a wee boxing belt. You know what I mean? It was unreal, but it was the life story too. The guy really knew the life story too, and then it was a guy. He came up to me and goes, "Do you know what the difference is between you and Prince Charles?" And I goes, "What is it?" He goes, "His reign only lasts for a moment, but yours lasts forever." And I was just like, "Bang! That's actually true."
That's it, mate. Spot on.
Spot on. That's God. I mean, so but it's been great to get to talk to you and stuff. And thanks very much again for the interview, Jordan.
Honestly, Jordan, anytime, mate, anytime, and make sure you stay in touch.
Yeah, I'm boxing. Yeah, boxing again. 15th of October in the semi-pro, the IBA swam. So yeah, something to look forward to. So it is. So I can't wait just to get. I'm away to Liverpool tomorrow to watch the Liverpool-Chelsea match. I'm away for the weekend. So can't wait for it. That'll be a good weekend away, and then I'll be back to the drawing board Monday to get back ready for camp again for fighting up at Glenalm Boxing Club with D Wills and stuff. So can't wait. It's unreal. It's unreal.
Well, honestly, mate, keep up the good work. And as I say, you're looking in good shape and ready to go. And yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. I think your story is going to speak to many people.
Yes, amen.
And,
Thank you.
Yeah, just keep doing you, mate.
Thank you, mate.
The best advice you can give people is just keep doing you.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, Jordan.
Hey.
And I'll speak to you soon.
No worries. Good night. God bless. Cheers. Thank you.
And you, mate. Take care.
Cheers. Bye.
Are you